with this set you actually got given 4 lots of white acrylic paint, which obviously is a good idea because you tend to use white a lot more for mixing mediums compared to a lot of the other colours. Ooh. I do have my window open, so if you can hear chit chat, that's my neighbours. Okay. So I'm thinking the 50 to 30 ratio is pretty good actually. My usual water bottle. I have said this before, the ratio between different colours within the same craft paints can alter a little bit. I find that the black does tend to eat up the water a lot more, so you do need to put a little bit more in, but obviously you are the best judge of what is better and what isn't better. That's good. I'll use that one for pouring. Purple. Okay, that one's a little bit thicker than the white, which is a good sign because I know getting a pigmented white is quite expensive, but obviously sometimes the craft white actually works better for this type of artwork. I only want a little bit of purple, so I'm actually thinking you don't need as much water with these, so I'm saying probably about 50% paint with 10% water, but obviously, like I said before, it does change quite a lot per colour. That's alright. And the last one, bit of yellow. Okay. It may look like I'm not actually putting a lot of paint in the pots, it's just because of the width and the height of the pot. I am putting enough in for the experiments. Got a nice sunset yellow, that is. Yeah, I feel like they only need a little bit of yellow. It's okay if you do put a little bit too much water in, because you can just add a bit more PVA glue and a bit more paint. But obviously it's easier if you put in it just a little bit less than you need of water, because it's easier to get back to the right consistency. Okay, that's cool. Pour the purple in first. Some of the white. Actually, I'll just put in a lot more of the white because this is more of an experimentation, isn't it? The red. The rest of the white. feel like this is going to be, well, I was going to say this is probably going to be really white painting, but you can never tell because sometimes the white just likes to sink to the bottom or do like the in-between sellage, if that's even a thing. There's a bit of purple left as well. I feel like I want to put a little bit more paint in. Which colour there? Yellow. I think I put a bit more yellow in, just for good measure. Kind of thinking you might not actually need a bit of water for these acrylic paints. Okay, I'm just going to do a basic flip cut for this. Okay, just move everything out the way. As I've already said, this is an experiment, so obviously the ratios are going to be off. Look at those cells though. Looking pretty cool. Look at this way. Gonna help it along a bit. Okay, I think I'll leave it at that. Obviously you can tell there is a bit of what do you call it? I should have put a bit more paint onto here, but it's starting to do that kind of effect where it's not sticking to the canvas, and I think that's due to maybe having a little bit too much water within the mixture, which again I said is totally fine, it happens. I actually think next time when I do the second one I will do, I think 60% acrylic paint, 40% PVA, because I really do think it probably doesn't actually need any water at all, which obviously is great because it means that I need to use less materials. And let's move on to the second one. I feel like that might be enough time. Yeah, everything's out the pot. So interestingly enough, the purple didn't show up as much this time, but then again it could be quite underneath the acrylic. May have noticed as well it doesn't move across the canvas as nicely compared to the first one. Try my best to get it all the way over. I feel like this is not gonna, this is gonna be a bit too thick. I feel like you do need to help it along a lot more on this one as well. So yeah, I think I'll leave it at that. So you can see both outcomes. Obviously the one on the right had 20% water and the one on the left had no water, it was just PVA and acrylic paint. Obviously this one's a bit too thick, and you could tell just by looking at it and tilting it that the fact that this needed a little bit more water to actually flow across the canvas quite well. Whereas this one had a bit too much water, as you can see it just kind of shrilled inwards, and even though the pattern was really nice, it didn't work as well in terms of the amount of water. But the pigments of the paint are brilliant. I will definitely do another experimentation to do with these boards and the paint just to get the consistency correct. Definitely only needs a little bit of water just to help it flow a little bit longer. But of course there is, so yeah, there you have it. That is first impressions of this paint. Obviously the outcomes didn't come out as well as I would have liked to, but again it is an experiment and it is trial and error every time you use a new acrylic paint. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you found it informative. Please don't forget to like, subscribe and share, comment, etc. on this channel and on this video, because that really helps me out. I shall see you guys for my future videos. Bye guys.